Okay, so aloha.
Aloha.
A very warm welcome to you watching, listening. My name is Jo Baldwin Trott. I am coming to you from the south coast of the UK. I'm very thrilled to be holding the third live video in the warm up to our incredible Global Goddess Summit on Monday. It does happen to be International Women's Day, but we're calling it the Goddess Day. But every day should be a Goddess Day. On Monday at 9:30 a.m. GMT, we will be having an incredible event of just simply being. So you don't need to do anything, you don't need to bring pens and paper, and you can put all that to one side. It's the opposite to the summits that have been probably thrown at you since International Women's Day was in the periphery. So we are going to be talking about the divine, the feminine, the masculine, unity, peace, harmony, light, connectivity with ourselves, with the universe, twin flames, and also we're going to be hearing and talking about the beautiful healing that Hawaii offers, and especially we're going to have a special message from my beautiful guest today, Kumu Brenda from Hawaii. Aloha.
Aloha, Jo. Thank you so much for having me.
It's such a pleasure. This is our second live call today, live call so far, isn't it? Our second meet. And I feel very blessed to connect with you. You are quite an just incredible woman. And I remember when we talked about the event, and you said very, very endearingly, well, which of my toys would you like me to share with you? Because
Exactly.
because you've had such an incredible experience, and you've so much has happened. So what we're going to first talk about though is you and what are you doing now? What does Kumu Brenda's life look like right now?
It's a beautiful time, Jo, really. Sometimes we're dreamers and when the dreams manifest, they're just wonderful. I studied with many elders. In Hawaii, we revere our elders. They're our greatest teachers because of the wisdom that they hold, and especially the wisdom of Hawaii, because it's based on wellness on several levels, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. And so I studied, I was an excited student. I always, from childhood, knew that I wanted to be part of the whole, part an expansive love of all. That was my little girl dreams. And so when I was ready, I was a founder of Hawaii Healing Arts College on Oahu, the third largest of our islands. And my goal at the time was to teach and inspire and empower young people to go the way of global healing, to go the way to use all of our gifts that we're given, because in Hawaii we are born with a trinity of purpose. One is to revere a higher power than ourselves, to know that there's something greater that's guiding in us, and then to love one another, to revere humans, humankind, and then to revere nature. So we're whole in that sense, and that brings us a spiritual power. So I was doing teaching young people, and then in 2011, I retired from the doingness and entered my beingness. I had been inducted into the World Massage Hall of Fame, which, I went, oh, big deal. And it has turned out to be a big deal. It's not just an accolade, it's an opportunity that I teach yearly at their conference, and It's called World Massage Festival. And so I have brought more young people into the healing realm. When I talk about healing arts, what I mean is all aspects that bring us into an elevated consciousness, which is why your global summit is so exciting to me, because now we're not just talking about this or that. We're talking about what encompasses everything that brings us wholeness, wellness, and ignites us so our light just beams, you know? And so right now I have been putting off writing, which my students have been asking me to do for a while. And I find that when I have had an incredible career of massage therapy, I've traveled, I've taught in Russia, Siberia, Moscow, Japan, Australia, just many, many places in Europe, traveled to every country in Europe. And what I found was that which I was taught growing up in my beloved Hawaii just serves me so well that now it's less about my doing this, more about my sharing as an elder. Someone wrote a beautiful poem that I love. You know, I'm not old. Ask me anything. I'm so motivated to share my love and to tell others why Hawaii is so special, what we have to share with the world. And one is unconditional love. And so in the summit, I will share a chant that is my school chant when I teach, that says one consciousness connects us all. So right now, I'm in, you know, the whole world has come to a stop with the virus. And it has been kind of a quantum leap for me, because I've given myself permission to spend time with myself, to talk to my inner child, to tap into what brings me such peace. And it's affirmed everything that I've strived to do into a very serene stage of my life where I feel I'm ready to be more, for more, and to contribute to the oneness and contribute to women who have been waiting to be found.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Does that
wonderful.
make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Oh,
Well,
good.
it makes an impact. It's an internal impact. So it makes sense in the heart rather than the head, I would say.
Yes.
Because what you're saying is that, and our initial chat, which was with your wonderful partner Robert,
Yes.
I remember one of our topics we talked about was how women accept the crumbs of a relationship.
Oh gosh, yes.
And it just it set me on fire. And then the following day, I then had a conversation with Jen McCarty, who is one of our speakers at the event as well.
Yes. I
She's
ordered her book and I'm on page 59, loving it.
Isn't it remarkable? Twin flame.
It's remarkable. And it's confirmation of so much that she so eloquently writes.
She writes so beautifully, so purely. You know, it is completely. It's simple but beautiful, but complex. Yeah. So, but so much of her work is about that. You know, about valuing ourselves, and your beautiful partner Robert really affirmed for me, and hearing from a man how it upsets him how women aren't
Yes.
valuing
Yes.
themselves. It's like
Yes.
it's like hearing a message in the loudest volume that your ear can possibly take. it just grounds you, and you think, goodness me, there's men that really believe this too. And that was so powerful. So how are you sharing that message? What because obviously you're retired from your work within the massage world on a level. So how are you doing that right now, Kumu Brenda? How can people find you, I guess? How can they find you and connect with your beautiful message?
When I say I'm retired, I don't mean that I have stopped any aspect of my life.
Yeah.
You know, the wonderful thing about the Hawaiian massage, Lomi Lomi, is that it teaches forgiveness. It teaches unconditional love. It teaches all of the aspects of what makes Hawaii aloha, which in itself is healing. I will explain in the summit the true meaning of aloha. It's not hello and goodbye. It's far more, far deeper. I will use my touch to help someone that is brought to me still.
Okay.
The beautiful part of Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage is that wherever you are, there it is, you know? And I've been blessed, really, to have massaged one of our presidents of the United States and his family. And I don't feel the need to say who that is because I take myself away from politics. I've helped 5-week-old babies and children with disabilities that no doctor has been able to help. So I will continue always to use my love and my hands and my heart to help people.
That's wonderful.
No, I will do that still. I still love to travel, and I will. I
One
will
day
keep
soon.
it. Huh?
One day soon, Kumu
Yes,
Brenda, we will be traveling again one day soon.
yes. And may I say that I have been to London and Great Britain many times, and I feel like I've been a part of it at some point. I read all of Jean Clavy's books, and I relate so much to the country. And you know, we have had many past lifetimes. So I feel that I am connected wherever I've been. Hawaii is welcomed. And isn't that a wonderful tribute to a people? You know, we were a monarchy. We were a monarchy. Our queen, Liliuokalani, is still one of my very vibrant guides. And she was welcomed into the court of Great Britain. And we have a rich history. We have a rich history. So I am right now working on a vision board that is quite amazing. I feel also that I'll rekindle my painting.
Wow.
I love to create art. Yes. And so I'm just ready to follow the call.
Wonderful.
And I will, as long as it resonates. And oh, what I loved about the Jen's book, it already confirmed why I'm with my precious husband. You know, I'm just 59 pages in, and I understand my journey. I understand where I am now. And like I say, it's a confirmation. And one thing she says in it at the beginning, which I love, because I say it in my classes, I love to teach. I love to see the flame get rekindled within people. One of the things I always say is take the best and leave the rest.
That's great.
And she says, if it resonates, take. If it doesn't resonate, let it go. I teach that way. So more and more, and I've told this to Teresa from Australia, who is has been such a beloved student of mine. And now she is way beyond student, you know? She's happening and it thrills me. Um, I I think that we are ready and we're reconnecting. We're coming together. I don't think there are any more accidents. Once we get clear, like the recipe I shared on relationship, once we get clear, we choose our people differently.
Absolutely.
And it either goes bing or bam, you know?
It really does, and so much is happening right now that is I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting this, and I don't mean that I want to be rude about it, but there's so many choices that are on everyone's plate, and they are creating conversations that we would not have had if we hadn't have gone through the year that we have, and it's
Correct.
raising so many conversations about our purpose, lives, previous lives, this life, the next life, spirituality, health, immunity, consciousness, connectivity. And so I completely agree. I think, I feel there's incredible potential with what is happening now, but I also feel and see, and I've experienced it, that there is a falling away of people. There is my clarity has come in with an absolute megawatt light bulb, and there's no wavering anymore. I know what I feel, think, believe, and I think a lot of people feel like that. The connectivity part is to what is happening right now is so important, and obviously we can only really feel connected on a bigger scale when we feel connected within. I mean, that's how I feel. What would you say about, because obviously a lot about the goddessism is about connecting with ourselves, God and goddess. And we've got men coming to our summit, and I'm so excited about that because they have heard something in our message to say this is about unity. It's not about women. It just
Yes,
happens to be on International Women's Day. This is about
yes,
the feminine and masculine in all of us. It's about
yes,
God and goddess.
yes.
What would you like to share about God, goddess, and that?
Okay. Your words just are quite astute. I love what you've shared. I can't agree more. I can't agree more. Um, yes, I too saw that some men want to, and what that struck a chord in me is that they want to understand more about who we are. It's no longer, Venus and Mars, and that we will never see eye to eye. I disagree, and my relationship right now confirms that. Um, what I will say is that what would help us would be to embrace that part of us that is different. Just as we embrace and try to understand the left brain and the right brain, the feeling nature and the intellectual nature, that we bring balance. And we will bring balance once we say, we will not be loud, aggressive women. That's not who we are. We're gentle, we're loving, we're nurturing. However, in this world that has not given us our rightful freedom to express, we now have some armor. we will no longer be victimized in any realm. So we come forth with lovingness. We won't burn our bras. We won't compete. Life is not about competing. So we have to temper our gentleness, though, that we have been led to believe is the only role we have, to be nurturing. We have to temper that with a little bit of might, with a little bit of strength to say, mm-mm. We have rights. We all were born with a birthright of joy. What would bring us joy? Okay, for some women, it's cooking and baking and having children. For some women, they want none of that. They want to contribute in other areas. And so I think it's important that we get some of the male attributes. And like you were doing earlier, weave it into all of the things that make women what and who we are, our innate gifts, so to speak. But we seek equality in a way of compromise, in a way of connectivity, as you say. No more will we stand by, because look at the planet. The planet is like an infant that needs its mommy. That's my feeling. It really needs its mommy.
Yeah.
And here we are, you know, here we are. So let us contribute right now. Let us meet you halfway. Understand us. And we won't be controlling, just the opposite. We can help the men be stronger. The men that we met in Russia, for example, they were forced to be strong. And when I played a song that says, I played a healing song that gave them permission to tap into their heart, they wept. They just wept. It's time. And you're right. This has been a very potent time. And thank goodness, aside from all of the noise and the ego that we see readily displayed all over, with my daddy's bigger than your daddy. No, no. We have to become one. And I will share in your summit my chant of Ike Kahi, Ike Kahi. We have to come together with our thoughts, our hearts, our appreciation of life. And Mother Earth, for crying out loud. Mother Earth doesn't need us, but we act like she does, you know. Let's just come into oneness. Ike Kai, that's the way I was raised. Absolutely no prejudice. Everyone has a gift. If we see the good in them, they're not less, we're not less. So I think it's happening with something like you're doing here. I really do. And I've been saying, call me, call on me. I've asked my angels, put me in the right place at the right time. I'm not one to go out and promote myself. However, I'm always ready to be there. If there's a need for anything that I know, say, or even just smile, even just a smile. Hawaii is known for its smile. I traveled all over and they said, we can tell you're from Hawaii. Isn't that something? And my hula, our hula dance. Another thing about where I'm from, and this is what I want to offer in your summit. We have more songs written every day about love, about the sky, about the rainbows, about the flowers, about the people, about the waterfalls. Hawaiian music is huge. And since age 6, I've been dancing what is known as the hula. When I dance, I am the truest expression of my soul essence. When I teach hula to women from all over, they tap into who they truly are, that flower that doesn't have discordant thoughts. Because the music and the song and the expression of the dance brings them home.
Wow.
The inner child, too. The inner child that our secret, one of our secrets, in it's not a secret, but it has been a secret, is that we should always remember our little boy and our little girl.
It's so interesting. I recently have watched a video from Louise Hay's beautiful publisher, Mark something. If you look for Louise Hay on Facebook, you will find his beautiful podcast.
I follow Mark.
So he does these beautiful
Yes, he does.
And the last one I watched of him, he did this session on inner child. Oh my God, it was like being stabbed. It was so painful for me to watch.
Oh,
Some of the affirmations I had struggled to say, and it just I knew that was there on a level. I didn't realize how much I need to work, and I would dare to say that sadly, I think that, and I feel that fundamentally this is one of the biggest problems and healing aspects that we, as a human race, and certainly in certain cultures, need to address. We've buried our inner child. We don't love them, we nurture them, and we're actually very cruel to them ourselves. And it, I'd love to. I mean, this is, we're going past our half an hour, and if you're tuning in for half an hour, I'm not going to apologize because this is just beautiful, powerful talk. And Kumu Brenda only has a 10-minute beautiful talk to deliver at our Goddess Summit. But I would love just to hear your words and thoughts on the inner child, just while I've got you.
Okay, Teresa will tell you too. I teach also healing the inner child. It's a very big one. I for many years, my mother died unexpectedly, and all I yearned to hear was, "I love you and very proud of you." That's what our inner child wants. And so, I've gotten that since though, but what we did in Australia that was powerful. We went through that part that you talk about where it's like ouch, little ouch, and then we got back to the inner child. I will always be there for you. I love you. I'll protect you. I love you this much. And then I had coloring books, bubbles, water balloons, hula hoops, all the child games. And we even included childhood happy food, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. In Australia, they have fairy bread, which I had not heard of. piggies in blankets. And we just had an inner child day. And I think one of the things we can do is hug ourselves, because hugs are needed for optimum health. And so, and Teresa believes in this too. We hug our inner child, and we say something like, "Oh, Brenda, I love you. Oh, Brenda, I love you." And it might be uncomfortable at first, or even looking in the mirror and saying it. Maybe it's uncomfortable at first, but you know what? Pretty soon it feels so good. And our inner child, children trust. They just trust. So even if the uncomfortable adult starts doing that, the inner child will get it. The inner child will receive it, and you will feel whole, and wanted, and wanted. I think being wanted, being loved is a biggie. It's a biggie, because people who don't feel loved or loving, they sometimes act out so that the results will prove to themselves what that thought process is telling them. Another thing we do is guard our thoughts. Our thoughts are hugely important.
Mm.
And so replacing discordant thoughts, and expecting only good. That's another biggie. And all of that is included in Hawaiian healing, all of it. The joy, the games, the dancing. One of the biggest things, of course, I will share in your summit is I will share in your summit. I'll leave
Yeah,
it there. I leave it there.
fantastic. So much to hear from. We could talk for hours, and I know this is not the last Global Goddess Summit for sure. It feels like we're tapping into something here within just, and all of us are just tuning in. I just tuned in. I got this title, got this idea. Teresa, bless her, who is a very dear soul sister of mine. She just got it, and and I think that is a big part of it, isn't it? It's just running with the intuitive self, and
Yes.
look what this is. I mean, I didn't know you. I didn't know you 6 weeks ago, and now I feel like I've already visited your home. We've shared tea. I mean, it's just
Yes.
remarkable. It's remarkable,
Oh,
and
yes.
again, another gift of our time. So, okay, there's so many other things I could bring up, but I would love to. I would love to just ask you. Actually, this is what I've just received. I would love to ask you, Kumu Brenda, if you would be happy to just to send to do a quick prayer and blessing to any men or women watching this that feel that they've heard the call to be part of this conversation. If they can come on Monday, amazing. Or if you can't come, you can buy a ticket and you'll receive the recording. So almost even better. So you'll get both levels of engagement. But
Yes.
that would be just a joy. We're going into our weekend in the UK, as are you. If you'd be happy to, that would be lovely. And then I'll share the details. But it's available on Eventbrite. We would love to see you, and obviously I will let Kumu Brenda finish this session with whatever she feels she would like to share with us from the beautiful island of Hawaii.
Thank you so much. I spoke to a friend this morning that can't attend, and she'll register, because you're going to allow any registrant, no matter where in the world we are, to receive it. It's hugely important. It's like the vaccine that they're offering. But this is spiritual vaccine. This is huge to get this shot of truth and love and wellness and vibrancy, and most of all, faith in what's coming, and cleaning our slates for what can be and what we can create. And so one of my favorite little prayers to say is Eloha mai, let there be love. E mana mai, let there be spiritual power. E pono mai, let there be harmony. E ola no, let there be healing. So e komo mai, come join us. Come, hear the truth, hear lovingness, get inspired, and know that you are loved. And welcome to the world of raising consciousness in a non-threatening, peaceful, loving manner. Ike kahi, ike kahi. One consciousness connects us all. Come join us. We love you. Aloha, aloha, aloha.
Kumu Brenda, thank you so much. Good night, everyone. And God bless you all. God and Goddess bless you all. Good night. Bye. Thank you.